Hello back again to a new tutorial in Blender. Some guys asked me again to the baking and today I want to show you how to bake this. This tutorial is on my YouTube channel to build this house, so you can do it there and then you have that what we have here. Now we have here the roof material, the wall, the window, the door and the rest. And now we want to bake that all to a low poly model of this house. How we make that? Okay. At first, it's not the best way to do it like I do it, but it's a way that is correct, that works. So, when you have the cam, it is important that you have no angles here that are wrong. It must be correctly from front view, and you can change that like you want. And it's important that you in the camera mode take orthographic view. So we go in the camera with numpad 0, then we grab that near to, and here we can zoom on this, so we make it fits nearly so. Then we render this house in all four directions. So I render that and the UV, you see the result. Takes a little, I think I have wrong power performance. Yes, it's not the best, but let's see, we make it now. So, yeah. And when we have all four sides, then we see how to make that. So it takes a little. You see it comes slowly, but it comes. Okay. Don't know why it is so slow, but there you go. So we save that as call it house front bake one. Front bake one at as an JPEG. That is important with color and quality 100. So save that. Then we turn the house in 90 degrees, rotate set 90 degrees. So we have the side, render them again. 512 to 512, that should be a little bit faster than the rest. So, okay, we render. Because I tried before much times to bake to active objects, so I had here low poly house and click both, select both, and want to bake to the active house, but that doesn't work real. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, so that is not the best. Okay, now we save that is the left part of the house, other house, left, bake, one JPEG, all okay, save. Then again, rotate set 90 degrees, make it from the back. We see we must adjust a little. So we go to camera and get a little bit out. So, and render again. Why we should bake? We bake because in games you need a house that looks good but have less words, and that's the reason why we do that. So we save that now. House back back bake one. It's JPEG. Okay, save. Okay, rotate. Set 90 degrees. That is the right side. So render that. Yeah, in games, there are very low poly houses, but with this technique to bake it on, they look as very detailed houses, models. So that is the right side. So we call it house right bake one. JPEG RB 100% is wonderful. So now comes the heavy part of this, and that is we must bake it mm, later. The next part is to make the low poly house. So we get only the top important parts of the house so that we have a real low poly house. Only the edges. The rest we don't need. We want to make it real low poly. So we have that. We need this points here. Only the important parts. So that. And we need from the roof this part here. We set, we go in that wireframe so we see better what we get. Here's the same. Then we need the top part here from the corner. This corner part, this corner part, and this here too. That one and that one. Then from behind here and from this parts here, one, here one, and at the back. So think that is enough. We will see. Uh, Here we've forgotten. Must look here, 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 and here. So, and at the end part of this roof. So now with Shift D, we copy that. Now we have these points, and with P, we can separate the selection. Now we have this here. Now we must connect them all. Select both, click F to close. So we build that house in real low poly. Such like that. Here a part, F to close. Here one. So how was it here? I think that was that point, that, that, and that. Maybe. Oh no, that's from the roof, the other one. So we got that, and this guy's here. Close. Yes, that could be. And here the wall. And the same on the other side. That's here, there, and there. Close it. So here comes the roof, I think. So we make that closed and this part. You also can build it new. It's sometimes faster than this method here. But that's more way to work. So I do it like this. And now, so we have that. We need the second part of the house. That must be here. That is one part. And we have the roof here. And back side. And the front side. So, nearly a house. Oh, we extrude that back. So we got this part extrude up, ready to go, I think. We must look that all is okay, but I think that works. Oh, okay. Oh, that was from the roof. We don't need that. So we look here and we see there is not closed. So we must close it. Set, go back, edit mode, and close it here. Then we need to close the sides, set, and close this parts here and that. Okay. So last look, it's closed completely. That is like we wanted. You see some parts are darker than the other. That means it's not the normals are not correctly. So we select all and go to recalculate. Then all normals will be correctly. And now you see you have here a model with 549 words, and this house only has 48. And we want that they look the same. In a moment, that is not so, but now comes the part. We now must put on the rendered parts of the house. So we delete here all materials. We need the front from the house, so we call it front. Front. Then we need the back. Then the left side and the right side. So now we do it. We in the front we take here the point and select with open the front part that we baked it called house front bake one. That is this one. Okay. The same with the back image texture. And front house back bake. Yes, one. And the left side. Open house left bake one. And last is the right one. So we open it here. House right bake one. Okay. Now we must put these four sides on the house. So we go to face selection and mark the front faces, and there we say assign the front. Why we don't see anything? We haven't unwrapped it. So we hit U to unwrap and we'll make it from view. So he tried to make this graphic on the house front. Why it don't fit is we must scale them right. So here in the UV image editor, you can select that graphic that we want to put on. So we call it house front big one. And now you see that is our UV and that is the house. So when we scale that here, we can make that it fits correctly. Little tweaking. So, and you see from the front it looks the same as the other one. That is the way to let it look like, but it has only 40 words. Now we must make the back side. So we go to the back and select the back faces and give them the back material. Same as before, we can't see anything because we doesn't unwrap. So unwrap, select here the back picture. So house back bake one, and you see it's the same. We must scale that up and make it fit with the rest. Now we have the back part. So now we come to that is the right side, I think. Yeah, that's the right side. The same as before. We mark that and give them the right side graphic. Unwrap them from view. Take here the graphic from the right side. Scale them up. That it align with the graphic. So yes, that is good. And the last one surely is the left side. So we mark that, give them the left picture, unwrap that from you, take here the left picture of the house and scale them up, grabbing and position them right. It's a little bit tricky, but if you make it often, you will see that's not a problem. So we have two parts that are not real good. That is the top part here. So we mark it from top and take the back part of the house. There we have this texture. We unwrap that from view and scale them up, grab and give them from the back side, and so we have that part. So we make that with the rest too. Scale them up, back part, sign, give them that texture, and last one is this back part, sign, UV, unwrap, scale them up, So we have that. Here we need a part of this gray. So we take this one and give them the left material. Assign. Take here the left part. Unwrap that from view and set them to a gray part. So now the house is textured correctly, and you see we have a good looking house with 48 birds. Um, it is not baked now really, but now we want to make that. Important for the baking is at first we must make on this house a second UV map. Um, Before we had here this UV map, and we make a new one with plus, call them bake. Good. This UV map must have a picture that we put on. So we make here a new picture, a new UV map where we bake on. So we click new and call it bake house complete. Give them a low resolution. 512 is good for games. It's enough to see what it is, and not too many to make the computer slow. So we make that, and now we must save that because it's new, but it's not saved. You see it here on the little star on the image. So we go to image, save as image. Then we give them a name. Bakehouse complete is okay, but PNG is to create format for the graphic that goes with less kilobytes. So we take here JPEG, RGB, quality 100, and save it. Okay, now the next part is that we must check our pictures or materials. Each material must have the correct UV coordinates where it should be on the house. So we need texture coordinates, it's under input, texture coordinates, and we need, I made a little bit greater so you can see it better, and we need a mapping. The mapping means where is the position of this texture on the house. So we got here vector mapping. We connect UV with the vector and the vector with the vector. That is the graphic, the front, the right graphic in this part. There is a diffuse material, that is the output. When you cut it, then there is nothing. When you connect it, then it's on. Um, Here you can change the location, rotation, and scale of this graphic you put on. But in this case, it fits, so we'll let that like it is. Now we have it in this material, but we need it in all materials. So with Shift, we select them both, hit Control C for copy, go to the next material, with Control V, you can input the copied things, and so we make it with all materials. Okay, now they have the correct position. The next part is to give them this um, UV that we saved, where we want to bake on. That we make in each material, we make texture, image texture, and give them this UV that we built. So the bake house complete JPEG. It doesn't have a connection. That is all correctly. That is the baking method must be so. So we with Control C, we copy that and input it in every material. important is when you place it in to click 2 times on it to make real that it is correctly clicked on. That is important. It must be yellow active. If something else is active, you have a problem. The bake doesn't work. So it must be yellow in all materials. We see that is correct. So now we have that second UV UV map that we make. It's called bake. And now we make there a new UV because we want to make all these 4 sides in one picture. So we go in edit mode and we see that cannot give a correct picture because they are all over the other. So we need a new unwrap. So we hit U unwrap smart UV project and click on OK. Now you see he placed all at his own place, not over the other. You see, that looks a little bit weird, but no problem, that is normal. So back again. We was on the baking part, so we have the complete bake. Important to make a good bake is that the materials emitted, so they're lighter and the house looks better uh, after the bake. So we give them a material emission, and that to all these 4 parts. Emission here too, there too. Okay, we check all what we have. You see, that isn't yellow. That is bad. That don't will get correctly. So we click here that it is yellow. Here the same. It must be yellow. Okay, now it is yellow. We have the UV coordinates and the mapping in each material. That's correct. We have here our bake UV map and we have the bake UV house complete. Now we can bake and hit here in the render layer, bake combined. You see here how long it takes. And we forgot we forgotten one. Um, we must unwrap that before correctly. So unwrap Smart UV project. Okay. Now you see he placed all these single parts uh, at his own space, not one over the other. It looks weird, but it's correct. So now we can bake that. Bake. And you see all parts are on the right place. So we see the little star on the image. That means it isn't saved. So we must save them now. Save image. Okay. Then you see it's white. Oh, you think there's something wrong? No, that's correctly. Because we have the wrong UV map in, we must destroy the old one. We make them gone. That only stays the bake. Now it looks white too. It's normally because we have the old materials on. We don't need them anymore, so we delete them all. We have a white house. And now we make our baked texture on this house. We go here, take image, open, and take bake house complete. And you see, we have only one material. The whole house is textured. It has only 48 words. This house has 549, and it looks the same. When we go to render mode, you see both houses look the same, and this one is very, very less from the words, and from the power it needs. Yeah. So that was my tutorial. See you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.